Rightio, something different for Campbell's comments today. Not yearling sales aren't different, but this one is. Adam Bowden from Diamond Creek Stud in America joins me. Firstly, hello, Adam.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for having me.
Why not? Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. It's on the eve of the Lexington Select sale, which is coming up. But you're a busy man. You're actually watching your daughter doing swimming training. You've got a very busy stud, very busy racing operation. We've got a fair bit to cover off on, but I do really appreciate it. Basically, you're based in Kentucky, is that correct?
Yeah, we have two farms in Kentucky and another one in Pennsylvania. So there's about 500 miles that separate the three places, really. And most of the season I'm in Kentucky, but I do go back and forth regularly.
How many mares for a start on the farm?
Diamond Creek owns just shy of 80, and then with client mares, it probably puts us close to 150.
Wow. Wow, it was a big operation. And then how many?
Probably bigger than I originally intended it to be, but we fly by the seat of our pants sometimes, and we make it work.
Well, I asked you that question. You're in your early 40s?
I am now 42. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're 25. You started it. Did you have a goal? Was this your end goal where you wanted to get to, or was it one of those things you started and you just thought, I'll see where this ends up?
I kind of had an idea that I wanted to do all of these things, stand stallions, race horses, and have mares, but I knew it was going to be maybe a long-term process. And some of it we got to quicker than we thought, and then others have been a little bit longer. But yeah, I think this is where I always wanted to be.
Yeah, it's a great achievement. We might just start on the racehorses, and we'll get onto the yearling sale in a sec, which is one thing I do want to promote. But I do a lot of work for Woodlands down here, and I know you guys have got a great association with them. Confederate is all the talk, and rightfully so. Do you pinch yourself that you've got a colt like what he is and what he's able to do, especially in the last 3 to 4 months, that he's just really stepped it up, something astronomical?
Yeah, I mean, he's special. I like taking credit for the fact that I kind of felt like he was special even as far back as a yearling. We had sent we had sent this group off, and he went around Christmas time, which is a little bit later than most of them go. And I called our racing manager, and I said, I think we have a special horse here. He hadn't even been in training yet. He just, there's something about him that's different than everybody else, and I'm glad that he's proved it on the track. And it's a family that I backed from the very beginning. His second dam is the third or fourth horse that I ever purchased when I first got started. I felt like she had the ability to give me a horse like this. She's the dam of Pure Country, and then she's the dam of, Confederate's mother too. So, it's a family we've had great success with. He's something else, and I think he just breathes different air than everybody else.
Well, I saw an interview, Timmy Tetrick. It was one of the first races he won. I'm trying to think where it was. Might have been at the Meadowlands. Can't remember. And it was his first big win this season, and he'd won a couple of races, but it was the start of the bigger races coming up. And Timmy said that the crop of 3-year-olds this year is so even that you'll get a fair mixture of horses. Timmy's not very wrong, but he was actually wrong on this occasion, because ever since then, Confederate's just been belting everyone up.
Yeah, he has incredible speed, and he comes to it so quick. After some of the races, we've gotten, thousands of congratulations and, good jobs and all that stuff. And somebody said it best where, like the race is determined in 2 strides. Like when Tim asks him to go forward, it's instant and it's exceptionally quick. And I think you'd have hard pressed to find another 3-year-old with that kind of speed regularly. They do it every once in a while, but he seems to do it every time he's on the track, which is really cool to be a part of.
And the latest pictures I've seen of him, he looks like he's just handling it so well. It looks like he could go another full season. Hopefully he does.
No, I mean, we've already announced that he's going to be done at the end of this season, and then he'll stand at stud next year. I mean, horses like him don't come around very often, and maybe we should race him, but, this is what we do. We bred him ourselves. This has been a goal of ours for a long time to develop a homebred stallion and have one. You know, he's worth too much money to our future.
It's My Show won the jug last Thursday, a week ago. You get a colt like It's My Show, you think you're in for a good year. Yeah, there's one better than him, and you're lucky enough to own him. But he's a great colt as well. It's My Show, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fantastic, and he's the only horse that's beat Confederate this season. So, you know, and he's had a hell of a season. Like if you take Confederate out of it, It's My Show is the best horse. And, you know, they're both by Sweet Lou, which is another feather in our hat, too. I mean, Sweet Lou, who, you know, stands at Woodlands over there, and has done a fantastic job here and overseas. And, you know, he's a horse that we backed from the beginning. It was early in our stallion, you know, standing stallions. He was one of the first ones that we got. And we believed in him and thought he could deliver this kind of season, and he has.
Andrew Grierson and Mark Hughes, guys that I deal with here in Australia for Woodlands, and now Andrew and the Kenny's own Woodland stud, obviously, they've always been big on Sweet Lou because he's a game changer because of his outcross, if you like, especially to Australian bloodlines. I would imagine he's a bit of an outcross to American bloodlines too, is he?
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of some beach blood that's in our sport in the state, he provides that perfect outcross. Same thing with Bears Alike. Mares that are there. I mean, he seems to cross well with everything. And, you know, there was two rock and roll dance mares bred to Sweet Lou in the 3-year-old crop. One's Confederate and the other is Cannibal, who's another homebred of ours that's had a great season too so far. And I think there's only a couple, so that could be the new Golden Cross.
It's funny because dance is not that popular a stallion yet. All of a sudden, as a broodmare sire, he's doing a great job. And I don't know why he's not, because here in Australia, rock and roll dance does a huge job. He gets winners every week.
He's always done a great job down there.
Yeah. It's going to be a good cross for people who might have a couple of fillies there, and there's going to be the temptation. Confederate, Cannibal. What's with the C's? Very quickly, I wanted to know that.
Yeah, no, so a couple years ago, we decided that all our homebreds would start with the same letter of the alphabet. We started with A, B, and then we got to the C's. And so the 3-year-olds are C's and the 2-year-olds are D's. And then we couldn't find enough E's, so we skipped over E, and the yearlings or next year's 2-year-olds are the letter F. So it'll just kind of go from there.
A little bit of the French influence, I suppose, if you like.
Yeah, probably. And, you know, one of our clients in the States is Courant, and they do a good job, and they name their stuff very similar. And, you know, it feels more like they're ours when we do that kind of stuff. We can kind of tell them apart a little easier.
Just quickly on It's My Show, does he keep racing next year? Because you have got such a great colt like Confederate going to stud. Will It's My Show continue on next year?
Yeah, I mean, he's a gelding too, so yeah.
Okay.
I think Richard Young's plan is to race him probably as long as he's healthy and happy and sound.
And Cannibal, does he keep going as well, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was up in the air, and he had won the Adios, and he won an elimination of the jug, and I think if he had won the jug final, we would have probably looked for a home for him next year, but no, he's going to race at 4, and we're kind of excited about that.
No, absolutely. It's a bit of an embarrassment of riches. You must pinch yourself sometimes, like hopefully, yeah, you're back. You must pinch yourself sometimes when you think of those 3 colts, and you basically, I can be cheeky, you probably left your best one at home, and 2 of the pin-up colts in the jug, and come out and win it. You must pinch yourself at the minute with your racing stock.
I mean, it's crazy. We have 5 pacing colts. They all have the letter C in the name, and you know, they're all entered in at the Red Mile on Saturday, and they all have a chance. So, you know, it's, like you said, I do pinch myself all the time. I know this doesn't happen very often. So me and the rest of the team are enjoying the ride.
Absolutely. Can Confederate break Bulldog Hanover's track world record?
I mean, is he capable of it? Yes. I don't know that we'll go for it. That'll be up to Brett Helling and Tim Tetrick to figure out if it's the right day. It certainly won't come from me. He's done enough for me speed-wise. He went 46-1, and he was really did it quite easily. I think if the setup was right and the weather was right, yeah, I'm assuming Pelling would go for it. But again, no pressure from me. I mean, my only thing is I want to win out.
Yep.
So that's the most important thing for me.
No, great. Well done. Just before one more question. You race in your colours. Here in Australia, there are some scribes that say that our drivers should have drivers only colours so they can identify with the driver. Yet your horses race in Diamond Creek colours. What's your is there a theory on why they race in your colours, and what's your thought of driver colours?
I mean, I don't have any problem with the drivers having their own colors, but we put a ton of money into the sport. They're our horses, and we have a brand to promote as well, and that's why we do it. We also are involved in the thoroughbred side of the sport as well. We have mares in the U.S. and in Europe, and we've had a handful of racehorses over the years, and in the thoroughbred sport, it's common and I think exclusive that the jockeys wear the owner's colors, and so we've kind of taken that approach and applied it to the standardbreds as well. And I mean, it's kind of cool to see our horses race in our own colors. I mean, the staff put in, thousands and thousands of hours, taking care of these horses, and to see the product on the racetrack in our name and in our colors means something. So it's important to us.
I personally think it's great because I can tune in, like I said, Jug Day on the live stream on YouTube and be able to see it and be able to see your horses. And it's my show and Cannibal. They're easy enough to know those sorts of horses, but you can also watch lesser races and you can start picking them up. Albeit you can pick the drivers up as well, like Dexter Dunn and the McCarthy boys. But you can also see your horses. I think there's a great argument for both sides of myself. I personally prefer colours, so well done for breaking that mould with them. I don't want to hold you too much longer, but the Lexington Select sale, it starts on the 2nd of October. 55 yearlings I see you guys have got going down there. I talk about your operation and how big it gets. Surely this is bigger than what you ever wanted it. 55 yearlings going to one sale.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, there's 30 of our own, and then we have the rest are client horses. And that's something that we've tried to expand over the last couple of years, and it's starting to pay off. Whether they're clients of the stallions or they're clients that, keep mares on the farm. I mean, it's something that we had never done in the past, but, there had been pressure to do it, and it's paying off. And I think, they're selling well through us, and we're making money in the process, so it's a win-win.
Four horses on day one. That must be great, just recognition for the farm to get a horse in day one, because I mean it's hotly contested. There's only 125 lots go through, and you've actually got 4 horses in that, 3 trotters and a pacer. You must get a smile straight away when you get accepted into day one.
Yeah, no, it's nice. And, we said, we spend a lot of money in this sport. We buy mares with that in mind. And you got to get the right individual, and you got to get the right stallion, and you got to do this 3 years ago when you make the mating. But when it pays off, and usually in spades.
I think there's 2 by Chimpanzee, a Muscle Hill, and then a Sweet Lou. How heavily invested in the trotter are you?
We probably have close to 50-50 split between pacers and trotters. Now we have a much better group of pacing stallions in our rank. But we do stand Chimpanzee for the ownership, and I've been a huge fan of that stallion right from the beginning. The yearlings look the part. They're exceptional outside in the paddock. They're athletic. They seem to have all the components. So, fingers crossed that they race like they look.
He's a son of Chapter 7 as well, isn't he? Yes.
Yeah, he was a 3-time Breeders' Crown champion. He happened to race against Green Shoe. But to me, he was one of the most dynamic horses that I've seen race. He was undefeated at 2. He could win on a mile track. He could win on a half-mile track. He could win on the front. He could win from behind. He's awesome. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see. How many have you got? You got quite a few in the sale by Chimpanzee, I think, too, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got 6 or 7, but this is a small crop. He's not a perfect breeder, and I think we may have bred around 70 mares in the first crop, and so this is a lighter crop. But then we kind of figured out how to breed him appropriately, and the last couple of crops, he's started over 100. So it should be good moving forward.
Is there a standout horse for you in your sale before we get off?
Yeah, there's actually a Southwind Frank filly who we used to stand, but we no longer do. She's hip 296. She's by any other stallion, she brings a fortune. But she's an absolute killer. She oozes class. She's awesome in the paddock. She's awesome on the floor, and she's been great since day one. So she's by far our best trotter. And then we got a couple of down by the seaside colts on the 5th day that are very, very nice too. But she's the standout filly.
Down by the seaside, you stand down by the seaside?
Yeah, we stand him in conjunction with Sugar Valley Farm in Ohio. We're the syndicate manager, and we have put him there and partnered with Sugar Valley, and they've done a great job with him.
He's doing an awesome job in America.
I mean, incredible, yeah. From his first crop, from, not the greatest group of mares, he's really, improved the mares that he's been bred to, and, the offspring has shown quality and class on the track. Pretty cool.
How many? I saw there was quite a few. It was about 10. You got about 10 going through the sale?
I think we're selling 16.
Wow.
And I think there's 30 total selling, and we're selling 16 of them.
Yeah, very good. What are your stallions, very quickly, that you do stand at Diamond Creek, mate?
Let's see. There's 11 of them, so I'm sure I'm going to get one wrong, and somebody's going to watch this and yell at me. But Jim Pansy in Pebble Beach in Kentucky, down by the seaside, Creatine and Marseille in Ohio, and then we have Father Patrick and Better's Wish, Heston Blue Chip, Always Be Mickey, Captain Crunch, and Sweet Lou in Pennsylvania. I think I've got everybody. And then next year will be Confederate.
Where does he stand?
That's the $1 million question, but it'll be Pennsylvania most likely, and then Kentucky and Ohio would be close second choices right now. But if I'm a betting man, I bet he ends up in Pennsylvania. Are
you excited about the direction that Kentucky harness racing is heading? I saw an interview just recently with Kenny.
Jackson.
Yeah, and some of the insight that he gave about the direction it's headed. Are you excited about the direction it's heading in?
I mean, we're huge. I mean, we just built a huge stallion barn in Kentucky and are standing 2 stallions there. And, we're the first major farm to stand stallions in the state in a number of years. And, most of our brood mares are based in Kentucky, and we raise the yearlings there. I mean, we've been huge supporters of Kentucky for a long time.
Yeah, I encourage people to go and have a look at it. It's on Harness Breeders Victorian site. Kath McIntosh done an online interview with him, and it's two things that you have done for mine: change the way people think about it, think about the product, and promoting the product in such a different way. But then everyone seems to have got on board as well and bought into it and said, right, we've got to grow the product and work the same way as well. To me, that's what it looks like from the outside anyway.
Yeah, more and more mares are being bred in the state and are residing in the state, and that's only good. There's enough money to race. There's a lot of money to race for in Kentucky. And with stallions standing there, there's bonuses attached to those, and, it's looking up.
Adam, thank you. I could talk to you forever and a day because there's so many questions I want to ask you, but I also appreciate the fact.
I got plenty of time.
You're watching your daughter swim. I don't want to buy on your personal time.
She's all right. She doesn't even know.
Pebble Beach. I saw that he covered his first mare here in Australia. He's a son of down by the seaside. Do you pinch yourself how quickly they get around, if you like? Like, you've got down by the seaside standing, and now one of his sons is standing down under for the first time. Do you pinch yourself at how quickly these colts seem to get around and then be standing, worldwide?
Yeah, it's pretty neat to be a part of. I mean, the ownership groups that have, put their faith and trust in us I pinch myself for that. Because, 20 years ago, I was a knucklehead in high school, and my teachers probably thought I wouldn't amount to anything. And here I'm being trusted to handle, $1 million stallions and ship them all over the world. It's pretty cool to be a part of. It's, I can't thank them enough, and I'm just happy to be part of the program.
It's just I find it amazing. It was only last year we were watching him, and then as I said, I got up this morning and just looked on the social media feed, and Alabar put a post up that he'd covered his first mare this season here in Down Under, and I was like, I reckon it was only 12 months ago I was watching him race in the US. It might have been 2 years ago, but yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Oh, it was less than that, right? I mean, he was last fall. He won the Breeders' Crown in Canada, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it happens quick.
It does. What are the goals for Diamond Creek? Get bigger?
Well, we just I probably, I'd like to stand more stallions. I think we want to stand stallions in more states. We're definitely checking a big one off the checklist by breeding a homebred stallion. Now that we've done it once, I'd like to do it again, and I would rather not wait another 17 years to do it. So, we'll be full bore into racing. We retain a handful of fillies every year and some colts. We try to race 20 to 30 horses a year in hopes that we get another Confederate. And, we always are upgrading the broodmare band. I think 75 for us is a good number, 75 to 100 mares. And we're always looking to improve the quality. So I don't mind upsetting the apple cart. I tend to test boundaries, and so I'll probably continue to do that.
By that, you mean step away from the norm, if you like? Would that be fair?
Yeah. I've never been a status quo kind of guy. I mean, if somebody tells me this is the way they've done it for the last 50 years, I'm going to probably not do it that way, just because. To
try and improve
for good or bad.
But I would imagine your ultimate goal is to improve the sport.
Absolutely. No, I mean, like I said, with Jim Panzi, it was like you collect stallions 3 days a week or 4 days a week. And with him, we collect him twice a day, 6 days a week. So we treat him like a thoroughbred, and it's worked out swimmingly. We've improved. We've been able to go from 70 mares bred to 115. And, he has a conception rate that improved from 70% all the way up to 90%. So like I said, I don't mind, doing stuff the way it's supposed to be, but I also don't mind doing stuff the way it's not supposed to be.
Who helps you with that? Like, is that something that you come up with, or have you got a team of people behind you that say, listen, how about we try it like the Yanks? It was like the thoroughbreds?
No, I mean, a lot of those are, group ideas. We sit around and hammer out ideas, but that one was my idea. But, we were sort of forced into that position. We had demands for the horse, and we needed to get creative in trying to serve all the mares that needed to be served. And the good part is he allows that. He's happy to do it. I obviously couldn't do it if he couldn't. But, I have a great team behind me, and a lot of the people have been with me for, 5-10 years. One girl is as long as 14 years, and some guys for 17 years. And so they're an extremely important part of what I do.
That must make you proud as well, as part of your Diamond Creek, the brand, to have people stay there for as long as. It's not like you have a high staff turnover. I mean, if you got staff that are there on a long-term basis, must mean that you can go to bed saying, well, I'm doing something right, because they're not in a hurry to leave.
No, I mean, clearly some people are that last 6 months, but no, I mean, some of the girls that have started as interns are, Gina Daly, who's the director of operations and manages all of the farms, and Caroline Vasquez started as an intern and is now does all the marketing and social media, and anything cool that comes out of Diamond Creek comes from her. And, both those girls do a fantastic job and are an important part of our growth and success.
Well, Caroline facilitated this interview basically through your association with Delaney Farms and the Delaney Memorial just recently. You have a very good association with the Irish as well, don't you? Because they stand quite a few of your stallions, especially the Delaney boys.
Yeah, so my wife and I went over there years ago to the Delaney Memorial and met Derek and his family, and he has boundless energy and wanted to improve the breeding program over there, and we could be helpful in that. And so we jumped at the opportunity, and it's been a symbiotic relationship, and it's been good for us. It's been good for them. And, we're happy to be part of that.
I know Mark Hughes from Woodlands. We're trying to get a band together. We're trying to get across there potentially next year because of off the back of that one interview. Because you say about their energy, it was just amazing to watch.
Oh, they're fantastic, and you absolutely should go. It's a hell of a party.
Yeah, that's what it does look. It does look good. Will the Diamond Creek brand travel? Like a short term, like European trotting, is that something that you guys want to take on and possibly consistently take on?
We sent an older trotter there that's a stallion for us now, creatine, years ago, and won a couple of races over there. I think it's probably out of our wheelhouse, but I would say it's never no. There's always thoughts of like, how do we get bigger and how do we get better? So I wouldn't rule it out at this point.
Yeah, it's exciting. No chance of bringing horses like Confederate to Australia, I suppose.
To race
yeah.
Or to stand stud?
Well, both. I'll go with the race one first. We'll try the stand stud one in a minute, but to race?
Possible. No, I think he probably won't, but I would not rule that out. I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, I've been down there and watched some of those big races, so it would be really awesome to go the other way. Like, a lot of horses come from down there and race here with success. I think it would be pretty cool to go the other way.
I think it'd be really cool if you did, I must say. Like you say, that Chartin's actually got a foal in that select sale. I was actually looking through it just there.
Yeah, we saw her the other day.
Yeah. So she went across there as a world champion, and so it can be done both ways. What about standing at stud? Does he come to Australia?
Well, I got dinner tomorrow night with somebody from Australia, and we'll always be in consultation with the people that we do business with, whether it's Woodlands and Alabar and Neville R, who we have a great relationship with as well. So all options are on the table right now, and nothing's been decided. You
know what everyone's doing right now? Ringing all their bosses to see who's in America. You know that, don't you? Exactly.
Well, I won't say who because that's not fair. But yeah, I got dinner tomorrow night, so that'll be the first conversation, but it definitely won't be the last one.
No, I imagine it won't be, and I think it's great. Adam, thank you. I know you did just get told that I think swimming might be finished or nearly finished anyway, but thank you very much, mate. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully it won't be the last time we catch up. Actually, I'd love to be in America one day, but hopefully we can do a couple more of these as these horses start stepping up, and a bit more of the promotion as well. But thank you, and congratulations on what's been a great season, but also good luck October 2nd to 6th at the Lexington Sale. Anyone wondering, the best way to go is actually lexingtonselected.com. Basically, you get everything. You can get the online PDF. You can watch the sales online. You'll also get to watch the results. So lexingtonselected.com for all of that. But Adam, thank you. Really appreciated the chat. Enjoy your dinner tomorrow night, whoever it is. Hopefully, make sure they pay. I mean, when you're talking about a colt like him.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate the time.
No, thank you.